So there you go, Tank. I'm going to read chapter 11, which I've never read before. And yeah, so there you go. That's Tank, book 1 of Seals in Spain by Tirza Schaefer. You know, it's white. If you go into the info box, it'll tell you where, you know, there's the link to get it if you want to. And I've also the link to a video recording from a TV interview, my first TV interview I've just done. And, you know, it's been broadcast live just now, today. And, well, it's gone live, you know, the recording. We recorded it beforehand. But anyway, thank you so much. At this point, I would like to say thank you so much to Denise-Marie McIntosh, who was the show host of Fairytale Access. It's a TV station based in New Hampshire in the US. And yeah, I was so nervous, and she totally put me at ease, and it was so much fun. I really loved it. It's half-an-hour interview. It was really great, and you know, so the YouTube link is on there. You can watch it, and I would love for you to leave comments and things like that as well. So thank you, Susan. So chapter 11. It's gonna get hot again. So yeah, waking up is a dream come true. Low voices worked into her consciousness and eventually roused her the following morning. Do you think they had sex? Seb's voice. She wouldn't be wearing PJs if they had, Dom huffed. Shame. A man can hope though, can't he? She must have come here during the night. She's mentioned several times she feels safe with Tank. Yeah, I love that. So many women are scared of his appearance. Well, she loves it. She's perfect for us, isn't she? Yes, she is. Sarah had kept her eyes closed and now listened to the conversation the two men held in lowered voices. She looked so peaceful and innocent. You were right to stop me last night. I was pushing. She's not ready yet, Seb whispered. She needs to feel emotionally safe with all of us first, like she does with him. Do you think she's scared of us? No, she's scared of her own feelings, but somehow she trusts him already. That's a good thing. It'll make it easier for her to learn to trust us too. I'm falling for her already, you know. When that happened with my mom yesterday, the way she cared for me, she didn't think me less of a man for it, for crying. I've never met such a loving, understanding woman in my life. But at the same time, she's not a pushover. The way she handles my mum, and mum loves her. That alone made me think we've really found the one. And it's too cute how she gets so aroused. I bet her panties are constantly soaked since she's arrived here. Makes me want to eat her out and lap up all those juices, Dom growled. And she'll make a great sub. Not the usual type, but more independent. She will love to be tied up, but she'll also jump your bones when she feels frisky and you walk in the door. Great mix. You really think she'll like being tied up? Seb asked. I have a feeling she's longing to give up control and let herself fall, Dom mused. Do you think that's why she's so scared? Seb whispered. Yes. Once she commits, she gives 100%, and the assholes who didn't realize what lucky bastards they were who fucked her up really cut her deep because she'd let all her defenses drop. One thing I know when I see it is a loyal woman, like Charlie's wife. He could have come home with arms, legs and dick chopped off and she'd care for him and would never think of having anyone else, Dom said. That's true. She's like that, loyal to the bone, Seb agreed. Sarah is like that. When she commits, you have to be real nasty for her to walk out on you, Dom stated. So when she falls in love with us, she's ours forever? Because we sure as hell won't give her any reason to leave, ever. I know that, Seb growled. I know. And once she understands that, she will be ours all the way, all out, Dom said wistfully. Why does she trust him and not us? Seb asked. Because we're charmers. She's fallen for charmers, flat on her face too. Tank hardly says anything, but he's honest, straight, and he doesn't sugarcoat anything. When he speaks, it's profound, or he won't bother at all, Dom explained. That's true, Seb agreed. And he's got that wild ethnic thing going. We're more civilized. The native people were colonized and exploited by so-called civilized Europeans, and she mentioned she's got books on spirituality, but she's definitely not religious. So you think she feels more connected to him because of his heritage? Like this romanticized spiritual idea of ethnic people being good and honorable, the keepers of natures and all that, Seb asked. Maybe. Fact is, she took one look at him and there was this connection between them. Not just physical attraction like with us, it was something deeper. And she allowed it. You might be right there. God. If I was a woman, I'd be in love with you simply for being such a brilliant judge of character. No wonder you were such a superb profiler, Seb told Dom. Thanks, man. The sarcasm in Dom's voice was audible. You're really good at manipulating your business associates with those skills too, aren't you? That's for their own good. Everybody wins. When they don't see this, I help them understand and I'm always proven right. Besides, I only ever do that for business. I'd never try to change something in someone's personality to get what I want from them privately. But I think Sarah feels I have that power and it scares her to be under my influence as long as she doesn't trust me, that I put her interest and freedom first always. I know you never abuse her trust. None of us ever would, Seb said fiercely. She's the best thing that's ever happened to us. Blue balls here or there, Dom said quietly. Man, I had to jerk off 3 times last night after I heard her scream when she came before I could sleep. Have you ever heard anything more beautiful than her voice crying out for Tank? She sounded like she'd completely lost it too, Seb sighed. One day she'll be ready to look into my eyes when she comes, and that will be the happiest day of my life, Dom declared. Yeah, while I her Tank fuck her pussy from behind and the other comes all over her back and ass, Seb muttered. Dom gave a low growl. Sarah was hard-pressed not to let it show that she was listening. Do you think she'd let you spank her? Seb asked. I'm actually certain she's dying for it. She's not into pain, but she'll love the mindfuck of it. I'm absolutely sure of that. I just don't know if she knows that yet. The losers she had before definitely didn't bother to pleasure her properly. You might be right there, but lots of guys like spanking a woman's ass when they fuck her. That's not spanking, that's an occasional slap. There's an art to it. It's about mental dominance, arousal. When you do it right, you can get a woman to climax just by that. You can make love to a woman with words and looks alone, without touching her or her touching herself. It's not easy, not even for me, and it needs a bonded, trusted relationship. But it can be done, Dom explained. And one day, I'll have her sprawled out on the bed before me with a white silk scarf as blindfold and maybe a short teddy. And then I'll make her come just like that. Can you imagine, Seb, the feeling of power to be able to make such a woman come like that? Her. Dom groaned at the thought. But one thing at a time, you see. Tank walked away from her because he wanted to only have her when she trusts him completely, and then she's crawled into bed with him. He's a knight, guardian and protector in her mind. And Tank's too, Seb said. Yes, he's her champion. He's already committed to her. Crazy. He was usually always the last one, always holding back, Seb mused. He recognized the kindred soul. They are the same in how they are loyal and committed. No games, just raw honesty and devotion. 100% in, Dom told him. You're right. The girls we tried with before were ultimately in it for the kink of it and left when they had enough. Exactly, Dom agreed. Tank's got an even better bullshit radar than me. Wow, but yes, I'm quite good, but you both are total pros. However, I think Sarah wasn't. She trusted the wrong people because she wanted to believe that everyone has such a big heart and that same code of honor she has, Seb said. We'll protect her from such people from now on and teach her to be able to discern between honesty and lies, Dom said firmly. Anyone who tries to hurt her will be off the coast, shark food, Seb hissed in such a sinister way. Sarah knew he meant it literally. She wouldn't allow it, of course, but that he was willing to kill for her meant the world to her. She wouldn't let you, Seb, but we can at least jump him in an alley and hurt him some. No permanent damage, though. She wouldn't forgive that. You're right. She's too loving and compassionate for that, Seb agreed. Unless it was self-defense and the only option left to protect her life, she wouldn't be happy about it. That's just not her. Don't you two have jobs to go to? Tank grumbled. What? He sat bolt upright and stared at a small figure lying in his bed. Sarah decided she could no longer keep up the pretense of sleeping and thought it best to show she was awake now. So she blinked sleepily, murmured something unintelligible, and pulled Tank back down to her. She snuggled into his arms and inhaled his scent. You smell nice. The others too, but you the most, she murmured. Thank you. I love your smell too. No wonder I slept so well. Did you just crawl into bed with me? He asked. She nodded and snuggled closer. Can you hold me a bit tighter? She asked. Sure, little princess. He tightened his hold on her and she sighed happily. It felt so good to be held like that. She thought she would just disappear in his arms, meld into him and forget about everything else, and would love it. She laid her hands on his forearm that was encircling her chest, holding on to him, drawing from his strength to soothe her. Good morning, beautiful, Seb said. Did you sleep well? Dom asked. Good morning. Yes, since I came here I did. What time is it? Dom checked his watch. Late. We've got to go, Seb. We'll see you tonight, okay? Okay, happy hunting, you two. She smiled out of her nest of huge arms and blanket. Well, you look happy. We'll leave you to Tank then to be taken care of, Seb grinned, and the two men left the room. When they were gone, Tank tightened his hold around her once more. That's nice, she sighed happily. I could get used to that. Good. It's yours for the taking. What do you like best about Dom so far? He asked. He's so in charge of everything. He's the perfect leader. Thinks before he acts and makes sure everyone concerned has their needs met. He's totally unselfish in the way he wields his power, and he's got a lot of power. I mean inner power, not just money and status. That's very observant of you, Tank commented. And Seb? He's got this boyish charm, but it's not in an emasculating way. I know he's a fierce warrior, but he's also the one most open with showing his emotions and that. She sighed. It nearly broke my heart to see him cry because he felt like he had to take sides because his mum is such a Nazi with you two. And he's completely loyal to you, but also to his mum. I was happy I was there to help him and hold him yesterday. He needed me to tell him, I think. He thought you were saying it was okay out of compassion for him, but not because you really meant it. I'm so grateful he allowed me to support him through that. Did you like the kiss? I loved it. I was afraid I'd soak his pants through. And when he went wrestling because he thought he had to keep up with you, when it's enough just being his naughty, humorous self, I hope he learns he doesn't have to compete. Each of you is so unique and so sexy and also so masculine and strong, but all different. You're all enough just as you are. Tang gave her a little squeeze and planted a kiss on her hair in appreciation of her words. In which way am I strong? He asked. You're like an oak tree. You're totally grounded, and once you decide on something, that is it. You're absolutely straight about it, and you'd kill and die for that before you'd allow anyone to force you to betray your loyalty to someone. Like the moment I laid eyes on you, before I even knew you were interested in me that way. I knew if we got mugged by a gang of 10, you'd kill them all before you'd allow anyone to touch me. Because you believe in defending and protecting the weaker. You do that for any woman, child, or old or frail person. How did you know that with one look? How can you even already know that now? Tang asked. Sarah shrugged and leaned her cheek against his powerful biceps. I just did, she said, and took a deep breath. I slept so well because I feel so safe with you. I'm glad you feel that way. Really, really glad. Tang? Yes? Would it be alright if I kissed you? I mean, just kissing and nothing else. I don't mean to be a cock tease, really, but... He grumbled. You don't have to justify yourself, little one. She turned around in his arms and he looked into her eyes. He wanted more. She could see the heat in his gaze, but he was also keeping a lid on it. He totally respected that she needed time, and he would not push her in any way. He was happy to let her make the moves, as and when she was ready for it. It endeared him to her even more, and she stretched up a little to meet his lips as he came closer with his own. Tank, and there will also be you know, the in the info box on YouTube there's also going to be my link to my TV interview on Fairytale Access, which is based in New Hampshire with Denise-Marie McIntosh. So thank you so much, Denise, for that. You know, I've had such a great time with you. It was the greatest first TV interview that could ever be, really. So it was awesome, and I'm so grateful. Anyway, guys, I love you and leave you. I had such a wonderful time with you. It was so nice, and thank you for trusting me and letting me pull cards for you all. I've missed that as well, so there you go. Lots of love. Night night. Bye.